What's going on, guys? Lil Baby here. What's going on, YouTube? I go by the name of Channel. I am an artist that's been recording into FL Studios for about 2 years seriously now. And I know why you clicked on the video. You want to go to Pluto.
Matter of fact, you want to come to Pluto?
You want to sound like Hendrix. You want to sound like the Double Cup Man himself. You want to sound like Mr. Purple Rain. You want to sound like Future. And I can help you with that.
Sensational.
Let me do a disclaimer. I am by no means like some super educated person on engineering. I didn't go to school. I didn't take like any paid courses or anything, but I have been playing around with FL Studio for like 1.5 years now. And I watch probably all of the same videos that you will watch. So what you notice that I'm probably doing is taking like bits and pieces from all those YouTube videos that you probably watch and kind of wasted your time. And I'm putting all those valuable parts in one video here for you. Because I know how it feels when, you know what I'm saying, you watch a video and they're like a super educated engineer and they know like everything, all they talk about, you just sitting there like, nigga, right? But yeah, basically I'm gonna just give you the short, sweet, like the literal, like the main course meal of what you need to know to have crisp cutting vocals. I am not gonna make you sound exactly like Future in terms of his tone or his voice raspiness. I'm not gonna sound exactly like Future. What I'm gonna do is teach you how to mix a clear vocal similar to the way that it was mixed in the actual song. So let's get into it.
Yeah. You telling me you falling out of love with me. Hope you can find someone who loves you better than I did. Taking our memories on love and chain up like nothing. Taking our memories on love and chain up like gossip.
Now that we have that recorded, I'm gonna go ahead and break down the vocal chain. So it is very simple. There is no background vocals. I'm gonna start by taking all the effects off, but the auto-tune, because honestly, I record with auto-tune on. This is a paid plugin at the various auto-tune, but honestly, any auto-tune that you can find at this level will do. You can just easily use Fruity Loop stock pitcher. It all works the same. You basically just set your key over the song. In this song, we are in the key of G minor. Future does use a fair amount of pitch correction, but it is like dulled out and humanized, so it doesn't sound as robotic-y, but you still get auto-tune effect. So I have my humanization on 100%. My retune speed is on 5, and if you are using Antares Autotune, I advise putting this on toggle and this to soft. I really can't tell you exactly in depth like what they actually do. I just know it makes it sounds way better in my opinion. So I have this on toggle, I have soft EFX, and I have humanize on 100 with my retune speed at 5. And basically that sounds like this.
You telling me you falling out of love with me. Hope you can find someone who loves you better than I do.
Next up, we have a parametric EQ. The main thing you need to take away from this is that I did this big sweep to take those low end frequencies out. And basically what you do is you take your mouse, hover over this, and you scroll until you get like this curve that's pointing right. And then you can copy my settings for the rest of the knobs. So this one is at 87 Hertz and I dipped it at 2%. This one at 114 Hertz, I dipped it at 8%. This one is at 279 Hertz, I dipped it at 2%. This one is 358 Hertz at 0%, 549 Hertz at 0%, and my number 7 is at 6,324 Hertz at 61%. If there's any like professionals watching this, I know this is probably not like your ideal professional mix, but I'm just saying this is what works for me. This is what I've created and it sounds good, honestly. So after the parametric EQ, we have a Fruity limiter. I'm using Fruity limiter as a compressor. Click comp. So I have my gain a little bit over 0.5%. My saturation is all the way up. My threshold somewhere close to like 25%. If you check here, when I hover over the knobs, you can see the exact numbers. But I got my threshold skewed at like 20.2, negative 20.2 dB. We have the knee at 49% here. And I have my ratio at 1 to 8 to 1. And you can copy the rest of the settings for these. The noise gate and everything is not really active, but you can copy the settings for envelope. Next up, I have another Fruity limiter. This Fruity limiter is used for the noise gate mostly. So I got my gain at 1.3 dB. Saturation is at negative 10.6 dB. And the ceiling is at negative 12.8 dB. So you can copy that, but we're really here for this noise gate, basically to get that background noise out. This really pertains to you and your recording environment, but for me, I have like a little bit of threshold up And I have my release kind of high so I don't get that like sudden cutoff noise gate. I want it to be like a natural noise gate, so my release is pretty high and I have my threshold pretty low. Next up, we have another fruity parametric EQ2. This, we're still cutting off that low end, and we're basically just getting, I did a frequency sweep of just the bad frequencies. So we got that one at 60 hertz, 67%. We got this one at 90 hertz, 39%. We got number 3 at 288 hertz, 0%. 526 hertz, 0%. 997 hertz, 4%. We have 6 at 4,990 hertz, at 5%. And we have number 7 at 9,964 hertz at 29%. This is the Melda production audio technology plugin. It is a free plugin. I'll put the link in the description. Download that. I just literally play around with these buttons until it sounded good, honestly. So you can copy these verbatim and see if it works for you. I got my input at 0.86 dB, output at 2.93 dB. I got my attack at 10 ms. My release is at 0 milliseconds. My RMS is at 100, threshold is at 0 dB, ratio is at 1.80 to 1, and my knee is at 100%. Now we have a plugin called Maximus. This is also a stock FL Studios plugin, and we're using this as a de-esser. When I'm recording, it takes the harshness out of those sounds. You can hear, I'm gonna let you hear the difference.
Hope you will find someone. Hope you will find someone. Hope you will find someone. Hope you will find someone.
It kind of like brings the intensity out of those sounds so they're not so harsh on the ears. So you want to copy exactly these. Check in this area when I hover over these things for like the exact numbers. So here we just have this point. So this second point here is an added point, and we have it skewed to negative 11.2 dB. So yeah, match that, and we have this third point at 12.0 dB. I just say copy these settings verbatim because I don't even know like the exact meaning and why things do what they do. I just know it's like a de-esser. Make sure you're on mid. Make sure that these are matched around the same area. We have my reverb. This is another one of the plugins from Melda production. I use a stock plugin of Fruity Reverb 2. It's a very well reverb. So if you're already using Reverb 2 and you like it, I say keep going with it. So we got the wet set to 33.1%. We got the length like 36,679 milliseconds. We have the size of the room at 76.2%. We got a low cut at 35.24 hertz. We got a high cut at 1,382 hertz. As you can see, the numbers are listed right there. If you're using the same plugin as me, there's no like background vocals or like there's not too many ad libs. It's really just that delay. So we're with the stock Fruity delay. So basically I put it on, make sure it's on this little ping pong feedback setting. My pan is all the way to the right. My volume is a little bit below half on the input. My volume on the feedback, almost 25%. It's about like 23%. And the cut on that is about 73%. I have my timing in the middle. Make sure that you set your tempo because the timing and the tempo go hand in hand. Tempo of this song is 151. So we got that. We have my offset, and then we got my dry setting at 80%. And that is all for the Fruity delay. Last, I have this free plugin called Fresh Air, but it basically thins out your vocals to give it like a more crisp cutting through the mix effect. So if this is another tip, even if you don't use any tips in this video, when you're watching other tutorials and you just feel like that mix, it just had like it's sounding muddy or it's sounding too like tinny, like, you know, it like has a lot of high frequencies, come down here to this EQ as like a safety net. You can, like, even now if you watch this video, you get through all this and maybe you have a different mic that picks up different frequencies. Use this safety net EQ to, you know, channel all that stuff out. So yeah, that's my whole entire vocal chain for Future.
You telling me you're falling out of love with me. Hope you will find someone who loves you better than I did. Taking our memories on love and treating her like nothing. Taking our memories on love and treating her like gossip. It's the love of my grandmother, make it gentle when I cover you.
And there you have it. That is my Future Love You Better mic preset. If this helped you out at all with anything, make sure you drop a like so I know that, you know, it helps you out. If you have another song or artist that you want me to cover and try to find like a vocal preset for it, make sure you comment that down below. So remember, when you're watching these tutorials, everything is not set in stone. Don't be scared to like play around with different plugins to try to find it to fit you, what fits your sound. That's all I got for you today, man. See y'all next time, and thanks for watching.